My name is Commander Jeremy Gillespie, and I have the privilege to be the Senior Naval Science Instructor for the Naval Junior ROTC program that is located here at Governor Thomas Johnson High School. We are just one of the many excellent programs that you're going to hear about tonight. As we begin the program this evening, I'd like to ask you all to please stand for a formal presentation of the colors by the cadets of the Naval Junior ROTC program, and please remain standing as I lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. As the first speaker for this evening joins me on stage, I'm not going to give you a big presentation about ROTC. The best spokesman for our program are our cadets themselves. So all I'd like to do is invite you, if you are interested in learning a little bit more about the Naval Junior ROTC program, come and visit our table that's in the cafeteria all the way in the back, and please take the time to ask some of my cadets any questions that you have about the program, and I'm certain that you'll be impressed, and if you can't get answers from them, please come and talk to me. Thank you very much, and enjoy this evening.
Good evening. Wow, look at this turnout. This is amazing. I know that this event was held at Frederick Community College, and the Director of Admissions, Lisa, let me know that there was such a great response and so much interest from parents that they had to move it to this location. So that's amazing. I want us to just take a time to give a round of applause to our veterans. Yesterday we celebrated Veterans Day. Can we just... My name is Dr. Nora Clark, and I'm here to welcome you to Frederick Community College and Frederick County Public Schools' annual Life After Middle School event. I've worked in education for many years, not to mention that I have a son who just started high school, and so I know firsthand the incredible transformation that our children make during the 3 years of middle school. Parents, tonight you're helping your 8th grader plan his or her future. As we all know, succeeding in just about anything in life requires preparation and planning. As 8th graders, it is important for your children to start building on their strengths and finding their passions. Career planning starts early. It grows in increments, and it leads to a dream. The next few years can be overwhelming, in part because your child will have so many options. It should also be an exciting time, and we want to make sure that you're enjoying it. Just know that in this process, you're not alone. We are here to provide you the support that you need through this journey, and we have a team here tonight that will answer any questions you have about what you can expect. I'm just here to welcome you. I thank you for coming, even though we thought we might get snow. I'm glad that we didn't. But I'm glad that you braved through just in case, just to find out all of the important information that we have to share with you tonight. Again, we have a team here that is going to answer any questions that you may have after the presentations, and enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Wow, good evening. So my name is Tom Saunders, and I am the proud middle school director for Frederick County, and I just thought I'd share some numbers with you, and you may already know some of the numbers. And I bring greetings from Dr. Aubin, the superintendent of schools. She loves this event and unfortunately had another commitment, so I get to step in her space. But I just wanted to bring a couple of things. So did you know that there are 10,000 middle school students in Frederick County? And there are 3,000, as of today, 3,318 eighth graders, and 1,100 parents responded to this event. So almost a third of all the eighth grade parents responded to this event, and we can't be more happy that you all did. So thank you so much to you for your interest in this. And when I said I'm a proud middle school director, I hope at the end of this event, you're gonna be a proud, if you're not already, proud parent of the opportunities that your eighth grader is going to get over the next 4 years. Every year I come to this event, I am so impressed by the opportunities that the students are afforded when they go off in the next 4 years. And your job is not to be overwhelmed. Your job is to try to think through good fit for your student. And there's going to be lots of things that are going to be offered here tonight. And you're going to probably go, gosh, what was that? And then at the end, you're going to have an opportunity to talk to the people that presented. But also, our website has amazing information on it. So if there are things that you hear about tonight and don't get a chance to stick around and talk to people, your school counselors, your middle school counselors are amazing. So as you hear things and you may want to talk to people in the next couple of weeks, they would be great resources for you. Or you can get in contact with the high school staff as you're trying to make decisions. So I hope you will be impressed. I want to bring thanks to all the FCPS staff that are here tonight. So if you are here and you're an FCPS staff member, could you please stand and we can give you a round of applause for being here and supporting this event? I know you're out there. Please stand up. And I want to give a special thanks. You may not know this, but there is life after middle school, and I'm living an example of that. And I told my son tonight as I was walking out that I was going to this thing, Life After Middle School, and he said, "Dad, do you even remember middle school?" So I said, "Thanks, Ben." But this event's been going on for 20 years, and this is our biggest turnout, so obviously it's getting bigger and better each time. And I want to recognize the person whose vision and thinking and incredible planning and time went into this event, and that is one of the school counselors at Thurmont Middle School, and that's Sherry Bueso. So if you could come out and we could give you a token of our thanks and appreciation.
And I do. Yeah. I do. So good evening. I'm Janet Shipman. I am I'll be back later to talk a little bit about Naviance. But one of my roles is to serve as supervisor of school counseling. Sherry started this program 20 years ago at Thurmont Middle School, where she's still a counselor. And when she outgrew Thurmont Middle School, she moved on to FCC, partnered with FCC, and then we had to move from FCC to here this evening because of the outstanding turnout. Lisa Friel with FCC is a huge part of the program as well, but every little detail Sherry takes care of. So it's pretty much a two-man show, but she is phenomenal. So we really wanted to recognize her this evening for 20 awesome years. So thank you.
And then last but not least, as we're thanking people, could our partners at the post-secondary level and all of the other different organizations that are supporting our high school students of today and in the future, please stand so we can recognize you and thank you for being here tonight. And there are people out in the what would be the cafeteria of this school that are also here. So it doesn't look like there's a whole bunch of people here, but there are. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to, at this point, Mrs. Bueso again. And thank you again for being here. I think you're going to learn a lot.
All right. I would like to start with a few thanks as well to Commander Gillespie and the Governor Thomas Johnson High School Naval Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps. Let's give them another round of applause for getting our evening off to a great start. Also to Dr. Clark and Mr. Saunders for your nice words of welcome. As you've heard with the incredible response tonight, we're just so thankful also that we were able to move here because for several days we were a little panicked, wondering how we were going to make this happen, and knowing that many of you were still responding and saying, how can we get there? How can we get tickets? Can we show up? And so I'd like to thank Dr. Lippy and the staff here at Thomas Johnson High School, for Mike Copen, who's up there somewhere in the booth helping us to be heard and helping things to happen tonight, for the custodians who helped get things set up, and for some of my counseling colleagues and even their children who showed up tonight to help orchestrate things so that we could make this happen. Most of all, though, I would like to thank you all for coming because it really is a testament to your care and concern for your young people that you're taking time on this cold night. Appreciate your flexibility and being here tonight. There's a Chinese proverb that says, when planning for a year, plant corn. When planning for a decade, plant trees. When planning for life, train and educate people. And that's what tonight is about, educating you about many future opportunities that are going to be available to your young people. The continuation of this program, as they said, has been largely due to our partnership with FCC. You heard Lisa Friel has been one of my partners, and Janet Chipman, my supervisor, but we couldn't have done this without Jane Filler also. She's in the admissions department. Jane, are you in here? We need to give her a huge round of applause because she's the one who's been taking all your calls and helping to field all the RSVPs tonight. A few nuts and bolts. So there are restrooms just out in the lobby behind you. There are exits all around should there be any emergencies. And I just ask at this time that you just take a quick second and pull those phones out or electronic devices, make sure they're silenced so that we can stay focused tonight. Ben Franklin once said, by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. And by your presence tonight, we know that's the last thing you want for your young people. You want them to be successful, you want them to reach their dreams, and you want them to really become the very best that they can be. Tonight's goal is to not answer all your questions. Tonight's goal is not to let you know about every single program and every opportunity that's out there, because there are many, many, many choices that you and your young people can make in the next few years. The goal tonight is to let you know about some of those opportunities and hopefully to spark some interest, to spark some curiosity, and to develop some questions that you didn't even know that you had because you didn't know some of the things that existed. So that really is our goal tonight. You'll hear some presenters that will be giving you some overview of some of those opportunities, and then you'll have an opportunity after the formal part of the program to go out to the cafeteria, and the different presenters and some additional folks will be out there with resource tables to answer any questions you have and provide additional information. So at this time, I would like to introduce Ms. Alana Blum. She's a counselor right here at Governor Thomas Johnson High School, and she'll get our evening going.
Hi, my name is Alana Blum. I'm a counselor here at Governor Thomas Johnson High School, and I'm going to talk about high school graduation requirements as well as the transition as well as your child's transition to high school. I'm actually going to ask you if you would like, you're not going to hurt my feelings, if you'd like to take your phones out to potentially take some pictures. I recognize that when we all go to these things, it's impossible to remember every single thing you're going to hear tonight, and we're all sharing wonderful information on slides, so feel free to click away. You have in your packet that you were given, I think it's a green paper that talks about graduation requirements. You can feel free to look at that as I talk about them up here. So in order to graduate from Frederick County High School, you need 25 credits. You need 4 credits of English. You need an English 9, 10, 11, and 12. You need 4 credits of math. Please recognize that some students will take a math class each year, 9th, 10th, 11th grade, and 12th grade. Some students will double up in math. Regardless, you need at least 4 math credits to graduate, but please know, even if you have those 4 by the time you're a sophomore or even a junior, the state requires that you take a math every year. You need 3 credits of science, 3 credits of social studies, a half a credit of health and fitness, 1 credit of a fine art, 1 credit of technology education, a half a credit of financial literacy, and then you need what's called a completer. You have another paper in your packet that you were given, pink or yellow, that talks about completers. Completer is often talked about as like your major from high school. So if you are thinking that you are heading to a 4-year college, you are thinking that you're gonna be the world language completer. What that means is that you will take at least 2 credits of a foreign language. Now take into account that many, many colleges are looking for 3 credits of a foreign language. So you're gonna wanna keep that in mind. There are all different kinds of completers out there because we have all different kinds of kids out there. So when you're thinking about a completer, and this is not a decision that has to be made now, but when I speak with my students, we talk about what does life look like for you after high school, and that's how we kind of point in the direction of what completer you're thinking. There are all kinds of opportunities out there. There is the career in technology education. We have people here from CTC. There are other ways to meet that requirement as well. And then, so there are all kinds of opportunities for completers. There's also the advanced technology, and it's all described in your paper. And then you will take electives. So you need a minimum of 25 credits. If you take 8 credits in high school and you earn a credit in each course, that gives you a minimum of 32 credits. You need 25 to graduate. You should be pretty good to go. You pass a class, you earn a credit. That's how high school works. It's about credits. Now, there are a few more graduation requirements. We talk often at the high school level, we talk a lot about state testing. It has been called PARCC. Back in the day, it was MSA. Things are changing. You guys know this. It's always changing. So right now, it's the HSA, which is the high school assessment, as well as the MCAP. And they are required for graduation, likely in biology, English 10, government, and algebra. And then we get another question often when kids are asking about volunteer hours. These are these student service learning hours. These 75 hours are infused into the curriculum. So that means that by taking the courses that are required for you to take for graduation, you meet those 75 hours. Now, any kids that are in the audience, that does not say that I am not telling you that you do not have to volunteer. That's not what I'm saying. You know, what volunteering does is it allows you to give to your community, and then in turn, it fulfills something within you, and again, kind of gets you ready to perform in a job atmosphere, but it also, as we all know, allows you to build a resume. Okay, adults, if we all tell our stories about high school, let's be honest, most of the stories we're telling about high school are not really about what you learned in biology, no offense, or math, and I was a math teacher before I was a school counselor. So, guys, it's really about getting involved. I really encourage every student out there to find something that you like about high school. For my kids at home, school is a means to an end. It allows them to do the things that they like to do. So when you're thinking about getting involved, if what you want is a fall sport or fall club, every single freshman walks in eligible. That's great news. We do that so you get connected to school. If you're interested in fall sports, fall season starts August 12, and then you need a physical, and all of that can be found online. Just know that your physical has to be dated after April 1. There are more things in high school than just sports, band. There are tons and tons and tons of options out there. Please, please, please find something that you're interested in. All of your schools will have club signups the first couple weeks of school. Find something. It makes your experience a whole lot better, I promise. And then this is my last one. Yay. Okay, guys, what can you do? And parents, if you haven't taken a picture yet, this is what you need to take a picture of. Attendance, your job is to come to school. Academics, your job is to do the work. Strive for rigor. Take the most challenging classes you can while still doing well. Advocate, please ask for help. I promise we are not here to bite you. We are not going to bite you. Nobody gets into education because we're making rock star money. We get into education because we want to help kids. Please ask for help. Find an adult at home that you feel like you can talk to, and an adult at school. You're going to need them both. Please participate. We've already talked about this. Find an activity that you love. It will make your experience so much greater and richer. And finally, you're in high school. Please, please, please act like it. Okay? All right, thanks so much, y'all. And here's Mr. Kurtz.
Well, good evening. My name is Jonathan Kurtz, and I'm the coordinator for the Academy for the Fine Arts, which is a unique opportunity for students who are interested in pursuing the fine arts at a deeper level. So, quick survey to the audience. How many of you have kids or are kids who are currently involved with music at your current school? Look at that. That's awesome. How many of you are involved with visual art? Dance? Theater? Maybe you do dance or theater outside of school too. Yeah, I have a special place in my heart for middle school arts because I was a middle school band director for 11 years. And I really, really loved working with your age group. And I'm also very excited to work with you guys at the high school level, should you choose to. So the Academy for the Fine Arts is a career pathway for those students that want in-depth training and rigor in those fields. We offer, get the clicker work? Cool, clicker works. We offer focus areas in the following areas: instrumental music, vocal music, 2D art, which includes photography, drawing and painting, computer graphics, 3D art, which includes sculpture and ceramics, and then as well as dance and theater. So if you're a highly motivated student in those areas and you're considering possibly doing that in college or possibly doing that as a career, or maybe that's just you, that's just your way of thinking and that's how you view the world and you would like to do that for half of your school day every day, this is something you may want to consider. So here's how we're structured. You're going to hear from the CTC in a little bit, and we're very much structured like they are. We're a half-day program. We're located here at TJ High School, and we take place during the first 2 blocks of the day. So how do you do a half-day program when you don't go here? You have to get transportation somehow. So most of the time, FCPS can provide that transportation from your home high school to us for blocks 1 and 2, and then back to the home high school. We are open to students from all 10 high schools. We are application-based and audition-based. So there is an application that's available online, and the students either have to come in and do a short in-person audition for us or a portfolio review if you're an artist. Oh, I knew I was forgetting something. We are open to students grades 10 through 12. So this program does not start until the sophomore year. Some highlights of what you get to do here. One of my favorite things is the second one. This is a very collaborative learning environment. We put our kids together as much as we can. So just because you're a music student doesn't mean you're only going to be working with music kids and all you're going to do is study music all the time. You're going to study music a lot. But you're also going to work with art kids and theater kids and dance kids, and you're going to try to put your skills together to create exhibits. If you're interested in seeing what that looks like, we're actually having a showcase in downtown Frederick on November 21st. That's next Thursday, and we're doing it at 5 locations downtown: Brewers Alley, Delaplane, 20 West 2nd Street, Serendipity Market, and All Saints Episcopal Church, and that starts at 6 o'clock. And you can rotate between our 5 exhibits and see what does it look like when all these artists get together and try to create an exhibit with a theme. It's very interesting. So these kids kind of learn, how do all of the arts think? How are they similar and how are they different? The other cool thing is you can customize it. If you want to wait till your senior year to do this program, you can do that. We offer lots of flexibility. You don't have to be in it all 3 years, but our third-year program we just developed this year, we are offering internships, and all of our third-year students are completing an internship in some artistic field, which is really cool. The other cool thing we started offering this year, courtesy of FCC and their partnership, is dual enrollment. We're now offering dual enrollment music theory class for our students so they can get that heads up or that leg up into college. We take kids on college visits regularly. We visited Towson this year. We just took a group of kids to Chicago, and we visited Northwestern and DePaul. We watch lots of professional performances, and we bring those people here so that they can work with our kids and coach them and give them as much prep for those college auditions and portfolios as possible. And we offer scholarships. We just started doing that last year. Last year we gave out 4 scholarships to 1 senior from each focus area. So what can you do this year if you're only in 8th grade? Well, we're offering a middle school visit day on April 15th. So if this is a program that you think may appeal to you or to your child, you can go on our website, and I believe you got a handout of ours in your bag, and you just register on that website for a middle school visit day. It runs from 8 to 10, so you get to spend half the day with us. You get to interact with the kids. You get to interact with the faculty. You'll probably get to participate in some activities. The one thing you do need to be aware of is you do need to provide transportation both ways. We can't offer the buses for this event, but it's definitely valuable if you think this is something you may want to do in high school. And then when you're a sophomore or when you're a freshman and you think you want to start this your sophomore year, you can go ahead and fill out the application. After this event, I'll have one of our AFA ambassadors in the back at one of our tables. If you want to pick up some more info or talk to him, you're more than welcome to do so. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Diana Sung, and I'm the coordinator for dual enrollment with Frederick County Public Schools. So what is dual enrollment? We're here tonight to talk to you about your middle school students becoming high school students. But when they're in high school, they have the opportunity actually to take college classes while they're still in high school. And so it's considered dual enrollment if you are a dually enrolled student in both high school and in college. So there's a lot of great reasons to do this. Our primary partner is with Frederick Community College, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about, maybe why should we do dual enrollment and what opportunities are available to you guys. Students, are we thinking about college? Who's maybe either, yes, I'm definitely going to college, or considering it at this point in your careers? Yeah, I see a lot of kind of half hands. Parents, does that make you worry about money? A little bit? Yeah, okay. So I think we're all concerned about, the costs of college and what that might be like, as well as making sure our students are as prepared as possible for college once they get there, to really be successful as college students. So dual enrollment is that opportunity to be able to try out college while you're still in high school, to figure out what it is that you want to do, and to try and kind of explore that college learning environment. There's a lot of different reasons to do it, but I'm going to start by talking about the 4 different programs that we offer through dual enrollment through our partnerships. Our largest program is our high school-based program. That's where your students can actually take college classes in their high schools or in the Career and Technology Center. We have a lot of different classes that are available actually in the high schools where your students will be attending. And this is the most affordable option and often the most convenient option because it's right there at the school. Another option that a lot of students enjoy is the Open Campus program, where they actually can go take the courses at FCC or even at another college or university. This has the biggest flexibility, the ability to choose any of those courses for which they qualify. And FCC offers our FCPS students a significant discount on on their tuition for those courses. There's 2 newer programs. One is our Career Pathways Partnership. We have some speakers from FCPS who are going to explain about all of those different career and technology opportunities your students will have in high school in just a moment. But FCC also has some career programming in terms of offering credentials and things like that. And so we've been partnering with them to offer some dual enrollment options for those as well. And then the last and most recent addition to our dual enrollment offerings is called Early College. It is an admissions-based program. Students would apply to begin their AA degree during their junior year of high school. They would actually attend entirely at FCC's campus, and by the end of those 2 years, they would earn their AA degree as well as their high school diploma. So there's a lot of different options. You can see the tuition rates this year for the school-based courses and for the open campus courses. This is one of the biggest draws, I think, for families, is when you look at a 3-credit class for our students after they graduate and they go to FCC, the cost of that class is usually about $450 or so for in-county tuition for a 3-credit class. But for the school-based tuition, you can see that that's a significant reduction in tuition. And the open campus also is a pretty big discount for our students as well. Tuition is completely waived for students that are eligible for free and reduced meals. There are some scholarships and grants that FCC generally provides, as well as scholarships and grants for students who participate in dual enrollment and then would like to continue their post-secondary journey at FCC. So there's a lot of really great options there. One of the things that's really cool is Ms. Bloom talked to you guys about all those high school credits you have to earn. With the dual enrollment program, there are a lot of college classes that not only can you get the college credits, but you also can maybe earn a high school credit for that class through dual credit. So you can see we have a lot of different subjects that we offer those dual credit options. And so students maybe will be taking an English class for one of their 4 English credits that could be a college English class. So that's kind of exciting. The Career Pathways program, sorry, my slide got cut off a little bit, but it's that opportunity to earn industry certifications in in-demand fields. There are a number of courses that might be taught partially in the high school or partially either at FCC's campus or in the Monroe Center. And these program offerings are going to vary by high school. And then just a little bit about early college. This is the biggest commitment of all of the dual enrollment programs. I think a lot of our programs, you can take just 1 class or you can take 2 or 3 classes at your high school or on FCC's campus and be doing dual enrollment. But if the goal is really to complete your associate's degree before you graduate from high school, then early college is the way to do that. One of the things that's kind of unique about our program, in addition to being able to access FCC on their campus, there's also the flexibility to major in a variety of majors that FCC offers, and that's kind of unusual. If you have a lot of interest in early college in particular, there is an information session tomorrow night at FCC. I'll be there, so you are welcome to join our high school students who are applying this year. One of the biggest questions, you guys are often 8th grade families, when do I start? Well, it kind of depends on when you are college and career ready. You have to pass certain entry tests. These are the same kinds of entry tests that any college freshman at FCC would be required. Most of our students qualify by their junior or senior year to start dual enrollment, but we have had students start as early as their freshman or sophomore year. But typically, we see juniors and seniors doing this. If you are interested in dual enrollment, talk to your counselor. You're going to have to apply to FCC and take those entry tests and things like that. But it will be able to help you through that process. So If you have any questions, we do have a lot of social media. You certainly can follow us if you want to snap that photo of all of those. We post information about the program all the time. Have a great time.
All right, my name's Norm McGacky. I'm here to talk to you about career and technology education, which a lot of people are confused about. Even our teachers are confused. For example, how many students had Lab 21 in middle school? Raise your hand, right? Food science, I&I. Those are all career and technology education classes. So we have career and tech at the middle school. And we also have career and tech at the high school, career and technology education. Then, besides that, we have a career and tech center that Ms. Marshall's going to talk to you about after I finish. But career and technology education is in every high school, okay? And that's what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the opportunities there, because we know about 40% of the people in the United States have college degrees, but the rest of us need some type of skill or trade. You can get it at our Career and Tech Center, but you can get it in our high schools. So what Career and Tech, a lot of people say, what do you oversee? What do you do? I'm like, well, it's ag, business, computer science, family computer science, and business. And that's career and tech in the high schools. Now, someone already talked about Maryland completers with the 2 world languages, but you can also be a CTE completer in our high schools, okay? In our comprehensive high schools, which I'm talking about, and then Ms. Marshall will talk about the opportunity at our Career and Tech Center. At our high schools, we have all these choices for career and technology completers. Computer science, business, ag education, human services, child development, work-based learning, wood, and design. So there's a lot of options out there for students. And let's just take a look at one, and we were just talking about dual enrollment, how like a business completer would work. So you might have intro to business, accounting, management entrepreneur, and then your dual enrollment class at FCC. Every CTE completer must either end in some type of certification, dual enrollment, or an AP course. So we can see the computer science has the foundations, the computer science AP principles, advanced computing concepts, and then AP. And if you're looking to make a lot of money, computer science is the way to go right now. I know there's 17,000 cyber jobs unfilled in Maryland right now. And FCC, which is going to talk, they have an excellent cybersecurity program. Here's another example of a completer, child development. And once again, it's 4 courses for that completer. Now, one of the other things that you'll be concerned about is earning your tech ed credit. So today we have more choices, and there'll probably be more in the future. But you can either take your foundations of tech, which is very similar to like I&I in middle school, or you can do a foundations of computer science or an intro to engineering design, and that's at Linganore High School, Walkersville, and next year it'll be at Tuscarora as well. And then the last thing I'm really going to talk about is the financial literacy credit. You need a 0.5 credit. It's embedded in these classes. So when you take one of these classes, it includes your financial literacy credit. What we do for financial literacy in FCPS now is, for example, this term we have 1,500 students participating in the budget challenge. And parents, you're allowed to get involved in this. Basically, it's a 10-week simulation where your students will have an income coming in, bills. They have to check their email on a daily basis, just like we do in our life. And they might have They might be in a car accident. They might get an email and say, hey, you're in a car accident. You have a choice. You can take a $300 settlement, or you might be injured, but if you take the $300, you're not going to get any more. You have to make a decision. And they have to check their email daily. And I'm a big finance business person, and I think financial literacy is critical for everyone. And what's nice is we have a sponsorship with this, JL and Associates. They're a accounting firm in the county here. And she said she's tired of seeing people making all this money without any money. So she donates $10,000 a year for us to participate in this, which is fantastic. So you're allowed to get involved. You're allowed to help your students. You're allowed, there's quizzes, weekly quizzes. You can cheat, okay? So get your parents involved. But I was in one class, I will tell one story. I was in a class and a student got 3 out of 10 on a quiz, and the teacher said, what the heck happened? And they said, well, my mother helped me. He said, get your father. You know, so it's fun. It's good simulation, good online learning. So CTE is project-based learning. There's so many choices today. They're in every high school. And now I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Marshall. She's from the Career and Tech Center, where there's more choices there if you want to even dig deeper.
Thank you, Norm. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm Lorraine Marshall. I'm a teacher at the Career and Technology Center in Frederick County, as well as a parent of 4 children. So I've been in your place 4 times, and I've survived it, so hopefully you can do the same. I'm also a parent of a student who attended our school, and my daughter is now as one of the top film schools in the country. And I did not have to pay $500,000 to get her there. I just had to send her to CTC. I'm here to talk a little bit about the Career and Technology Center. And at the Career and Technology Center, we borrow students from every high school in the county. We bus them there and we bus them back. Students choose to come to our school to study something that they have a passion about. We make future nurses. We grow floral designers. We code our future web designers. We cultivate farm managers. At CTC, we forge welders. We create auto body technicians. We also build car technicians. At CTC, students decide to become our biomedical scientists and doctors of the future through Project Lead the Way. We create architects and engineers that have been to the White House and MIT to receive awards and have been to many foreign countries to test out their creations. We provide skills for our students to become carpenters, programmers, and computer tech analysts. At CTC, students follow their passion of hair, makeup, and nail design, as well as we even cook up some world-famous chefs like Brian Voltaggio. At CTC, students design their future digitally. We electrify the world. We create beautiful landscapes, as well as we provide safety and homeland security and criminal justice. At CTC, we provide the world's best comfort providers that every year graduate with a job waiting for them. We help students learn physical therapy, and we have students create secure networks in Security Plus. And finally, at CTC, we inspire students to be our future teachers and entertainers by making movies. In summary, we have well over 20 different programs at the Career and Technology Center. How does CTC work? All students that come to CTC are in grades 10 to 12. In their 9th grade year, they can check us out by shadowing. The school has classes as a morning block and an afternoon block, so they come here either in the morning or afternoon, and they're bused through Frederick County Public Schools. Additionally, when you take classes at CTC, part of your classes go for electives, and they also go toward your completers. Additionally, we have dual enrollment agreements with these universities. Most of our programs you can earn college credit for within the 2 years that you're there. After you've been there 2 years, most of the programs have completer certifications that are nationally known. Depending on your program, you might get one certification, or you might get dozens of certifications, depending on what certification tests you take. CTC is a great option for your student to come and see if that's what they really want to study. It might be just an interest, and maybe when they come to our school, they'll say, hey, this is what I really want to do for the rest of my life. Or it might be, oh, that's not what I really thought it was going to be. And that's a good financial experience to have, as well as a life learning lesson. How do you get to come to CTC? Well, you need to have great attendance, you have to have good grades, and you also need to shadow. So in 9th and 10th grade, you'll go to your guidance counselor and you'll say, hey, I want to go to CTC. And your guidance counselor will say, great, I'll set up a shadowing appointment. And shadowing means you come here for half a day, and you get to meet with the teacher, and you get to talk to the students in the class, and you get to experience the class for half a day. And you can do that twice in our different programs. After you've done your shadowing experience, you fill out an application. And hopefully, you'll be one of the students chosen to come to CTC. There's many options at CTC for student involvement. We have many different clubs, a lot of community service organizations that you can also get involved with. We are on the web. You can check us out there, or you can come to our table in the back. Also, the last week in October is our big open house. It's usually the last Thursday in October. We just had, I think it was 1,400 people there this past October. It's a big event where you can come into every classroom and experience and see what they're doing. For instance, culinary arts has lots of food coming in and out, lots of many treats. I think down in HVAC and plumbing, they had a blowtorch with an ice sculptor. They have all different sorts of things for you to experiment with. So CTC is a wonderful option for your student to follow their passion and find out what they want to do with their life. So I hope maybe one of the slides that I show is something that your student might have interest in. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce Mr. Watson, who is head of virtual school, who partners with us. So a lot of our students also take virtual high school classes so they can be there. Thank you.
Good evening. It's amazing to hear all the different opportunities that high school students have in Frederick County Public Schools. We truly are blessed to have such unique opportunities that can help diversify your high school experience. I'm going to share some information with you about the virtual school. We are a program that operates under Frederick County Public Schools. We offer accredited high school courses for students who are enrolled and attending one of our Frederick County Public Schools. You'll see the question there on the slide is, will this be a part of your high school experience? Most likely it will be. Last year, out of our graduating class, at least 33% of them took a course with us at some point in their high school career. And that's an increase in 3% from the previous year. So odds are you will probably take us for one of your high school course options. So students take courses with us for a lot of different reasons. A lot of times it's for scheduling conflicts. Some of the programs that you heard about this evening would require you to have take some virtual courses because like the Academy of Fine Arts or CTC, you're there half the day. So you need to fill those other credits that you need for graduation, and sometimes we're a good option for that. We offer a variety of different programs, and the biggest question I get is why? Why are there 7 programs up on that display right there? Well, it's to try to personalize the best situation for each student. We recognize that online learning is a different option for students at times. It might be something they're trying for the first time, and that each learner is a little bit different, and they might need some additional supports in order to be successful in an online class. So we do try to differentiate our blended learning program. We call it blended learning, and students, I know you're hearing a lot about that. You're probably having blended learning courses in your middle schools. It's because there's always a face-to-face component with an instructor or a mentor who's there to help coach you through the process. No student takes a course with us completely online. There's always some kind of face-to-face component with it, and we try to provide different supports in those different programs. Those acronyms up there, you have a brochure in your resource bag that explains all of those different acronyms and talks about why there's those different courses. We also oversee the summer school learning options, and again, we try to differentiate based on student needs. And then what you can expect. So, as I said, there's some kind of face-to-face component. Sometimes students see a teacher or a mentor every day, because they're actually taking an online class at their school during a block of their school day. And the teacher of record actually travels to their building to do one-on-one face-to-face instruction throughout the school year. Then we also have students who only see their teacher once a month, and they're taking a class in the evening, and they come to see their teacher and the rest of the students in that class, but then the majority of the time they're doing it online. So a much more independent level of student who's taking courses that way. All of our courses are taught by Frederick County Public School teachers. We trust them to know what's aligned with the curriculum and to deliver the best curriculum that they possibly can. This is just an example of one of our programs, the Virtual Outside of School. This is the one where students come once a month and they're taking a class in addition to their regular high school course load. So again, sometimes students are maybe taking 5 classes. So you might have 4 during your school day, and then you might decide to take another one in the evening. Now, why might you want to do that? Well, some students are thinking of internships, or they're thinking of work study during their junior and senior years, and so they want to get a head start on taking some of those courses. Some students just rather take the course online because they don't want to sit in the course at their high school, because they want to save that space for a more unique opportunity at their high school. One thing I want to say about that, what we do is we try to publish these a year in advance, and so that you can see the face-to-face meeting dates on this. You can see the courses, the face-to-face meeting dates, so that you can plan around your activities that you might be involved in, to also decide, if I'm involved in a fall athletic team, is a fall online class where I have to go in the evenings really the best option for me? I might want to save that and take it in the spring when my schedule is not as busy. So getting started, first thing is to talk to your school counselor. There are some summer learning options that are available to rising 9th graders. So if you're an 8th grader sitting in here tonight and you're interested in maybe taking an online class before going to high school next year, you have that opportunity. Parents, it's not necessary. It's not a requirement. You have plenty of time to take courses throughout your 4 years of high school. You don't have to rush to try to do it between 8th and 9th grade, but there are options for students depending on what your interests are. We will send out a Find Out First message that goes to the entire county, usually in April and May, when we release our courses for the following school year. And then in your brochure, or in your resource bag tonight, you have our Frederick County Virtual School brochure, which has all the information I shared. It also has our link to our website if you have any questions. And then there's also a half sheet of the course options available to 8th graders going into 9th grade next year for this summer. I do have to warn people that courses do fill up quickly. Despite being an online class, we have a limited number of seats that we can use, and we have a limited number of seats that we give each teacher for budget reasons, for just best practices for instruction as well. So it is a first come, first served basis. So if you are interested, talk to your counselor. Your 8th grade counselors are familiar with the virtual school and how you can get enrolled for summer options as well. If you have any questions, please come see us in the lobby. Thank you.
right. Phew, Mr. Watson's tall. I don't know about you, but sitting for an hour is tough. So, my younger friends in the group, if you are an 8th grader, or, well, 6th, 7th, or 8th grader, please stand up, stretch quietly, and then listen, because I have some directions for you. So, I see lots of kids not standing. 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. There you go. All right, now, if you have at your school this year logged into Naviance, stay standing. If you have no clue what Naviance is and you haven't used it, you can sit down. Please don't sit down, please. All right, so those of you standing, if you know that your parents, you have at home, outside of school, logged on to Naviance and you have shown your parents what Naviance is, you can stay standing. If you haven't even, oh my goodness. Now you have to sit for another hour. No, I'm just kidding. So, parents, obviously Naviance hasn't necessarily been shared with you. So it's an online, basically an online college career readiness program that we use in our middle and our high schools. And it provides kids the opportunity to do career searches, interest inventories, identifying through these inventories their strengths, and then it has different pieces or components that then they can look at, okay, these are my strengths, what can I do with these career-wise? Once we have a career in mind, then they can, do a college super match, it's called. So you can pick, do I want a city college? Do I want a college that has 10,000 students or one that has maybe 2,000? Do I want rural? Do I want Maryland? Do I want, Ohio? Do I want Florida? So, and you put in all of the different parameters, and then it spits colleges back out to you that you can really start focusing on. So, yeah, I should probably listen to directions on how to move. There we go. So it has components like that you can start as early as middle school. The other piece, counselors go in, they do classroom lessons, or they should be, so that you are, as students, are becoming familiar with Naviance and how to work your way through it. So 8th graders especially, in the very near future, December, January, you will definitely be accessing Naviance to do your 4-year plans. Basically, your counselor walks you through everything that Ms. Blum shared with you on high school requirements, and then you kind of look at the courses, the course options that you have within your high school that you're going to be feeding into, and you kind of plan out at least your freshman and sophomore year. And your guidance will be, get the requirements out of the way as soon as you can, so that then you have space for those additional courses, the electives, the dual enrollment opportunities, everything, once your requirements, your graduation requirements are met. So with that, parents, ask about Naviance, keep bothering them, check it out. There's a parent login as well. So you can contact the registrar at your middle school, and they can give you the website, you get an email, and then you kind of do your own login process and create your own password. So definitely go in and check it out. It's some great resources. When they get to high school counselors use it for sending transcripts to colleges, sending letters of recommendations to colleges. All of the students' course history is in there at a glance for you to see. Test scores, the SAT, the other state-mandated scores, all of those are in there for you to see. So it's a lot of good information that you can have at your fingertips. So we do have a Naviance, and this is what the homepage looks like. But we have a Naviance representative that is here this evening, so she does have a table out there. You can stop by there for additional information. But again, your counselor, your registrar will be able to assist you with getting logged on. Thank you. All right.
righty. Good evening and welcome. My name is Lisa Friel. I'm the Director of Admissions at FCC, and we are so excited to see so many people. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Jane Filler, who is absolutely my right hand at the college, and she did take many, many phone calls and also returned personal phone calls to have such a great turnout. But it does my heart so good to see so many of you, because this has been a wonderful partnership with both Sherry and Janet and FCPS and FCC and so many others for 20 years, and we've been involved in that together, and I really appreciate my dear friends sharing this passion to get the information and all the excitement out to you about what is available in our county. I will share a little brief thing. While I was sitting here, there was a student in front of me who every time she saw something that made her excited, she would look to her mom and say, "Oh, look at this." So that's what this evening is truly all about. It did my heart good to see her that way. So I'm also very excited to debut our new video, FCC's admissions video tonight, and you're going to see that in a minute. But before I start, I did want to share a couple things with you. FCC is a 2-year public institution. We do receive funding from both the state and county, and we are fully accredited. Over half of all college-bound students nationwide attend community colleges. Typically, FCC captures about 34% of the graduates from Frederick County Public Schools every year. When we include those students that come back and take classes with us in the summertime, we are up to 60%. So definitely consider us as an option for your students. We have about 6,000 full-time credit students, and when you include the continuing ed, workforce development courses, we have up to 16,000 students that take courses with us. Students can earn associate's degrees, certificates, letters of recognition, but the most important thing to know is that it's the same first 2 years as four-year schools. English 101 is English 101, whether you go to Duke, Maryland, or Frederick Community College. You can use your degrees to transfer on to four-year schools, as our credits are going to transfer. We have wonderful articulations with many, many schools, including Hood and the Mount, that are here tonight to talk to you. You can take classes and go right out into the workforce. We talked earlier about cybersecurity, big, huge field. I think second only to California. Maryland employs the most people in those jobs, and like you heard earlier, there are many that are waiting to be filled. We offer certification courses that will help you in continuing ed and get you right into that ideal job. We do have financial aid and scholarships and funds that are available, the same as a four-year school. So please apply for everything. There is a lot of money out there, and our admissions and financial aid representatives will be out in the community and in the high schools to review anything with you and help you along the way of the process. Community colleges do have lower costs. We are about 1/4 the cost of a public college and as little as 1/10 the cost of privates. FCC is about $3,500 a year, and you won't find a better value for your education at this point. I do want to talk about some of the opportunities you've heard tonight and just make mention that it's really important that your students take advantage of these. Open campus, dual enrollment, my goodness, what a great opportunity. CTC, I have a student that went through the culinary program there, and my son, and he is now in the chef management program at Wegmans. So lots of great opportunities in our counties, and if you're looking for articulation information, we have a brochure on our website called Give Yourself Credit, and that will show you what things transfer and what credit your students will get for each class. One other thing I want to share with you is to visit as many colleges as you can. I think the very first person that spoke this evening talked about fit. And I know for myself, I thought I wanted this big, huge university, and I ended up at Western Maryland, which is now McDaniel. My mother was from England, so we looked at 20 colleges before I decided. I don't know that you need to look at quite that many, but sometimes being on a campus gives you a different idea of what school your student wants and what's the right fit. FCC hosts the countywide college fair every year. You are all welcome to attend. The information does go out to juniors and seniors in high school, but we see all grades. We have over 100 colleges there, and it's always held the first week of October. So if that's something you'd be interested in going to, make sure you mark your calendar. Last thing I want to tell you, please come to our campus. You didn't get to come this evening, but we would love to give you a tour of our beautiful campus. So come and see us and see what FCC has to offer, because there's a lot. So let me go ahead and show you our debut video. Hopefully, here we go.
Being here at FCC, each time that I look at all the courses that I'm gonna take, it just shows me there are gonna be so much more to learn and so many different opportunities that will come my way. You have this opportunity of discovering your potential. I was able to just see like myself and then just using it and unfolding it with other people. For me, it's one of the biggest opportunities that I had here, where I was able to be part of something bigger. What I really like about FCC is how everything is just so prepared to give great lessons, great classes.
The campus is phenomenal. I love it. I think it's such a nice little area to just be able to come and meet with friends, and so I really thought that FCC was going to be the best choice for me in this journey.
I kind of like the setup of the campus. You know, it's not too hard to get from class to class. It's not a struggle that most people would think it is when you go to college and you're trying to get all your stuff together and you're worried about just expecting the best from yourself and your experience.
The resources that help me a lot is the library, the writing center, because you can go, do your work, you can get help. There's also a STEM center. They can help you with science. It's a really good place that you guys could go to.
One of the big things that I like about FCC is the fact that it doesn't necessarily require me to come here on campus in order to attend the classes that I need. I still get the education I need, the material I need, and I'll still get the credits I need. It gives me a lot more options to pursue different employment opportunities.
It's really close to home. It feels homey, like you get that really warm, cozy feeling, I guess. Well, at least I do.
The classroom settings are great. I think that all the teachers really help welcome you into this transition of coming from high school or coming from another school and going into the college setting. Everybody that's in your classes, they're really rooting for you to get the best grades that you can get, and they really want you to succeed.
The instructors are great. They kind of let you figure it out on your own, and then they come in and look at your work and they take you through each step and make you feel comfortable. And even the students, you can always ask them for questions and they help you out along the way as well.
Everybody you work with in the different buildings, financial aid, admissions, they're all really there to help you. It doesn't feel like you're just another number. It feels like you're actually a student to them. They really care.
At a lot of schools, the biggest hurdle is just really just the balance, because everything is about balance, especially in college, because you have a large workload and you obviously want to have fun and you want, I play a sport, so that's another time commitment. So really just being able to manage my time and learn how to balance everything has probably been the biggest hurdle. So what really drew me to Frederick Community College was that support from the faculty to the student athletes.
Everybody's very friendly. They help you to understand what you need to do, what your expectations are, so you can line up your courses to fit what you're studying for and what your ultimate goal is. I have belief in myself. I know now that I can do it. Being a student at FCC has made that possible for me to have that belief in myself and to know that I can achieve whatever I put my mind to, and that's what propels me forward.
knowing that I could go to school, be close to home, and be able to achieve my degree is really when I realized, like, I really want to go back to school. I really want to make something of myself.
Everything that I've done so far is definitely preparing me for this new path. It's just been a long-waited journey, and I'm now really looking forward to being able to blossom into the person that I've thought in my mind that I could be, and I'm really looking forward to everything that's going to come out of it.
I feel really uplifted when I come to school, you know, seeing different faces, you know, meeting new people. It feels really good.
Like I said, the support is just crazy here. And athletically and education-wise, I feel like Frederick Community College will help me both with my academic goals and athletic goals. And it's something that I really am enjoying so far.
My journey is kind of, you know, whatever I make of it or whatever I want it to be. I only have like happy thoughts and high hopes for myself going forward. It's very comforting to know that whatever I choose, most likely I'll be successful at because of the options that are given to me here.
I'm grateful, honestly. I'm really grateful for FCC, for the professors that they hire, for the staff that they hire. Just really grateful that everyone there is really involved and invested in your success.
When I came here to FCC, everything sounded so new. There was a lot of new information to me. There was a lot to learn. Although it can be scary to go into something new, but it's so good to see that you are stretching yourself into learning something that will just help you so much in the future. It's just this feeling of finding the right place in the world for you. That's what you're supposed to do. And it's such a pleasure, and that's where I really feel that I am in the right place.
So parents and students, we really hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you on our campus. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everybody. How are we doing? Awesome. I guess I'm the closer tonight. My name's Josh Karlheim. I'm an Associate Director of Admissions at Mount St. Mary's University, just up the road. I'm a Mount grad, graduated from Mount St. Mary's University in fall of 2016, and finished my master's degree last year, also from Mount St. Mary's. So I'm a Mountie through and through. I'm going to talk to you tonight a little bit about four-year schools in general, just to give you an idea of some things to think about. I know this is very early in the process for a lot of people here tonight, but I know for those planners out there, I know you're out there, you're going to love thinking ahead 4 years in advance what's in your future. Choices. I know some people look at this and they're like, yes, look at all these choices. And maybe some are like, ugh, this is a little scary. There's a lot of choices. How do I choose? The great news about four-year colleges, specifically in our four-state area, there's a lot of them, and there's a ton of support. We've gone over tonight. There are people here that want to help you in finding the best fit for you. The green dots are private schools. The blue dots are public schools, so there's a ton to choose from, and it's all about finding that good fit. Learning more about the campuses, getting on the campuses, actually seeing what they have to offer is definitely the key. When looking at the difference between private and public schools, both are great options, but there's clear differences between the two that are good to know. So with private schools, usually are based around some type of common theme or value. So like at Mount St. Mary's, we're a Catholic institution, while state schools are geared around a state or a certain student population, like University of Maryland, Towson University. Private schools tend to be a little bit smaller in enrollment, but not always. You know, sometimes you'll have larger private schools. The Mount, for example, is actually a very small private school, but there's some larger ones out there. Public schools tend to be a little bit larger in enrollment. There's also a difference in tuition and cost. So with your private schools, usually there's one set cost, and that's for everybody. But with public schools, you might have your in-state and out-of-state tuition to consider. With private schools, face value at your sticker cost look to be more expensive, but we can offer a lot more scholarship At Mount St. Mary's, the average financial aid package is around $30,000 a year. And this is helpful for students that want to go to private school and want to make it affordable. We can look at your GPA and make this affordable option for you. With public schools, the cost tends to be a little bit lower, but sometimes there are less scholarship opportunities for those public institutions. Then there's just variables that aren't related to one specific school. They're just across the board different for everybody. So at the Mount, we are a small private school, but not all private schools are X. So not all private schools aren't Division I athletics. The Mount is a D1 school. We're actually playing Kentucky, the #1 college basketball team in the nation, next week, little old Mount St. Mary's. So it doesn't mean that a small school in a rural location can't offer things that maybe a bigger school could. So it's good to consider all those options. And all these things are great questions to ask when maybe you go on a campus tour or you're asking a person you trust, a mentor, what kind of things do you know about this college? These are some factors to consider that are really important. Do you want to live on campus? Do you want to commute to the school? What's the culture of the campus like? Do most students stay on the weekends? Is there a lot going on, lots of clubs and activities? Or is it more of a commuter school? Are all good factors to consider. And then when you get to the stage where you're ready to apply to a four-year school, there's some terminology you should know to keep in mind. It's pretty important. First, there's early action, early decision. If you apply early action to a school, it's a way to find out sooner if you've been accepted. If you apply early decision, it's the same type of premise, but there's usually a binding agreement associated with that. So if you apply early decision, keep in mind that there might be a situation where you'd have to choose that school if you're accepted and withdraw your application from other schools. There's also schools that are rolling admission. The Mount is one of those. So we're reading applications throughout the year, ongoing, pretty much all 12 months of the year. So that's a term to know that's important. There's also some wait list that schools will possibly put you on depending on the space available, and when space comes available, you may come off that wait list. Test optional has become a buzzword in four-year schools recently. It's really on the rise. The Mount actually just adopted a new test optional policy this fall. And this does not, we no longer require students to submit standardized test scores. So if you want us just to look at that GPA, take more of a holistic approach of reviewing your application, looking at other things like your resume, your letters of recommendation, we can do that now. And then finally, deadlines, really important. So if there's a deadline out there, mark your calendar, make sure you hit that deadline. November 1st is pretty common for your early action, early decision, and it's nice that a lot of colleges and school counselors know this so we can work together to help you get all your documents in so you meet all those deadlines. And then when an application comes to my desk, which, by the way, I am the Frederick County recruiter, so anybody from a high school in Frederick County, I review the applications for this area. So definitely after the presentations today, come on out and meet with me in the lobby area. I'd love to talk more about the Mount with you. But when I get an application, I'm looking at certain things. As a liberal arts school, which the Mount is, I'm looking at the comprehensive education. I want to be able to see that you have challenging curriculum in a variety of areas. And that's for a school like the Mount. But maybe if you're looking for more of a specialized curriculum at a different institution, maybe STEM is what you're going towards. You want to make sure you're doing well in those courses because GPA really does weigh heavy in those situations. When you're looking at AP and dual enrollment courses, these are awesome opportunities because they're going to help you advance yourself in your college career, but you want to make sure you're doing it and you're weighing the pros and cons and you're finding that healthy balance because GPA is a huge indicator of future success in college. You want to make sure you're at the proper level of AP dual enrollment courses that is going to allow you to prepare for that college curriculum, but not at the cost of your GPA. And then if you do have those AP honors classes on your transcript, definitely make sure we're seeing that weighted GPA because we want to see all that hard work you've been putting in and make our decision based on the weighted GPA. Finally, if you find that the transition from middle school to high school, it's a big one for a lot of people. I'm a first-generation college student. I know what it's like to be in a new place for the first time. And if you find that your transition from middle school to high school is challenging at first, and maybe you have that slow start, but then you pick it up later, mention that in your admissions application one day. Or maybe you just have that struggling point at one point in your high school career. Let us know those things because we can have that conversation and keep those things in mind as we're making our admissions decision. Finally, activities. Get involved. I know it was said a little bit earlier in an earlier presentation, getting involved is really important. And it's good to have a plethora of activities on your resume, but equally important is that you take it to the next level. Take a leadership role in one of those activity areas. Become the captain of the sports team if you can. Be the section leader in band. Run for that position in the SGA, because having those leadership experiences is going to help you stand out in the application process. It's also going to allow you to develop a more comprehensive letter of recommendation. Your recommender will have more to say about your involvement in that activity, and maybe you'll have more to say about in a potential college essay one day about the experiences that you had in the club. So that's everything I had. If you have any questions, again, like I said, I'm the recruiter for Frederick County, so definitely stop on out. I have my business cards. I'd love to meet with you guys and share more about Mount and four-year schools in general. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
We are almost done with this part of the program. Now, there was a lot of information. How many of you learned something new tonight? Oh, that is awesome. How many of you have a question right now that you didn't know that you had when you came in tonight? Okay, we've got some questions too. That's excellent. So the purpose of the evening, as we talked about, really is to help you think ahead and prepare. When 20 years ago, when I was thinking about helping my 8th graders prepare to do high school plans and think about what they wanted to take, and knowing they're going to be coming home and talking to parents, I thought, well, how are parents going to have any idea what it is they should be taking or what they should recommend to them? And that's what this program was developed, to help you have some general information before that process starts. So what's coming in December, January, expect that your school counselors at your 8th grader schools are going to be going into classes, working with them, encouraging you to check Naviance, encouraging you to look over things with them as they're building their first plans. But please don't panic. Remember that nothing is set in stone at that point. It's really to give them an idea of what kind of things they need to take to graduate, what options are available, and how can that all fit together for them over the next 4 years. Have a couple of quick things just to note, and then we will wrap up this part of the program. The resource bags that you have, I would like to thank Rodney Foland and the Career Transition class at Career and Technology Center. They put together 400 bags for us tonight, so I'd like to really thank them, yes. In your bags, I would like to point out that there is an evaluation form, and that is really helpful to us as we look ahead to how we can improve things for you. We really go over them, and we try to make adjustments, try to make it more user-friendly for you. I would like to thank Jeremy Eckert up there. He is recording the program tonight. If we find out what times it will be airing in the future, other parents that you may know that were not able to come tonight may be able to view it on Channel 18. So we will post those when we know that. Would like to thank all of our presenters for taking time tonight to be here and share information. They will all be out at tables that you may stop at wherever you would like to gather more information or ask questions. We also have some additional folks here from Hood College, from Naviance, and from the Maryland 529 plan. So helping to afford college, it's not too late. So please stop out and talk with them. I'd also like to thank the Catoctin Mountain Orchard. For 20 years, they've been providing fruit baskets for our presenters every year. And they're here tonight, so make sure, presenters, that you get those before you leave. Make sure I've got everything here. If you did not get slides on our evaluation forms, people have said, oh, but we want copies of the slides. How can we get copies of the slides? We can't. We have a very small budget. We can't afford to print all of the slides. I know some of you got some pictures, but we're going to post the presentation on the Thurmont Middle School website. So if you go to fcps.org, find Thurmont Middle, and on the left side, you will see it says TMS Headlines. You'll be able to click on that link and print any slides that you might want for yourself so that you can look at those in a little more detail. Again, thank you so much for being here this evening. out in the cafeteria area. Feel free to stop and visit any of the presenters, any of the tables, and gather some more information. Have a great evening. Drive safely.